You're watching Ladies in the Locker Room. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on?
Um, Not much. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Looking forward to a warm Christmas. It's going to be 70 degrees here on Christmas Day. So those kids
Wow, that is
are going to be out riding their bikes on Christmas Day. Yep.
it's going to be 70 degrees. Sorry. I think my audio went out for a second.
Yes.
Technical difficulties all the time.
Yes. Anyway, so how's your week been?
It's been good. It was my birthday on
Did you raise the roof?
last week. Yeah, it was last week.
Uh-huh.
And so it was a lot of fun. I had an improv show on Saturday, so I had a bunch of my friends come out to that. It was the first time they saw me
Live.
So
Okay.
it's it was
That was
a
cool.
good
That was
time.
a cool birthday present.
It was especially because like Orange County and LA are very close together, mile wise, but to get people from LA to come down to Orange County is so hard, and to get people from Orange County to go up to LA is really hard as well. So it was a great birthday present for everybody to come up, and just kind of did some stuff with my family. They had like some people over on my birthday, so it was nice. What about you? How's your week going?
Week's going good. I went up to New Jersey last week to
Nice.
help a friend out. She does a yearly coat and toy drive. So shout out to Ajala and Lake. These two ladies raise a lot of money to buy brand new coats, and people donated brand new coats to needy youth in New Jersey. And it was an awesome, awesome event. And like I said, kudos to those ladies. I was honored to be a part of it. Those kids walked away with brand new coats and toys and everything. So it's really cool.
That's awesome. That's great. It's a good time to give back and
Hmm.
to like less fortunate, and just overall just had a couple of like friends that have lost family members this time of year,
Hmm.
their dad, and it's a really tough time of year. So if you can give back any way you can, it's awesome.
And we jumped right into everything. Of course, I'm your girl Hattie. I'm your Jersey girl. I'm from New Jersey, but I live in Atlanta now. And this is Lindsay,
Hey, I'm Lindsay, and I'm from Orange County, California.
Orange County. So now we're coming to California for the Super Bowl, Lindsay.
Hmm.
And I'll also be in Vegas for the Pro Bowl.
I know, that's so exciting.
It is
Um,
very exciting.
Can't wait. Like it's coming quicker than I thought. Like once we first started talking about all this, it was months and months away. It just seemed like a
August,
distant.
September, and
I
now it's
know.
right upon us. It's upon us. You're right.
Exactly.
You are absolutely correct. Well,
Well,
we're
should we
gonna,
take our first break?
yep, let's take our first break.
Hello, guys. My name is Gloria. I am an instructor at LA Fitness Atlantic Station. I teach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on Saturdays we hike. We go to a different location. Our classes are 5:45 at Atlantic Station. There's kickboxing, there's body work, there's power circuit, everything you can imagine. And then we hike. We hike Kennesaw, Stone Mountain, the Palisades. We go everywhere. Come out and join us. Find out what your mission is and have fun while you do it. You can find me on Facebook, Gloria Jackson, and I want you to have fun while you get fit. Come join me.
All right. What's going down in your hometown, Lindsay? What's going on out there in Orange County?
Well, I always talk about the Chargers, but this time I'm going to switch gears and talk a little bit about the Rams.
Okay.
More specifically, I'm going to talk about Offensive Player of the Year, which Cup is on track to getting, and it would be like the first time in like in
The history of the
years that
team.
somebody other than a quarterback has gotten offensive player of the year. And some people are saying it might be Aaron Rodgers, but like we'll see. But that's kind of my shout out. Hopefully somebody other than a like quarterback gets it this year.
We'll see what happens. Well, what's going down in my hometown, of course, is the Hawks. The Hawks have been doing pretty good, but now the Hawks star Trey Young is out with the NBA COVID protocol. Trey and some of the other starters are out. Uh, it's beginning to look a lot like COVID again. So there's a lot of COVID going on, and so Trey Young is out. A couple of the other starters are out, so they're still playing, but they are without some of their star players. And the same thing is going on with the UGA. This is their biggest season ever, and they're getting ready to go to the bowl game, but they have some COVID situations going on as well. So, we've been having our eye on UGA all season long. They've done really, really, really well. So let's hope COVID doesn't take the championship instead of the other team. So they have a few players out with COVID protocol as well. So here we are with COVID again.
Exactly. It's kind of like what to talk, or like pretty much is like what is like the main topic in sports right now, with everything affecting so much. I guess the silver lining is that the games are the NFL games are being kind of spread out, and they're not just all on one day. So we've been able to watch
football on Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night.
Exactly.
That's a football heaven for some football fans. Football every night.
I wish it was for like a different reason, but I guess that was my silver lining for all this.
Lining. I know. All right. Well, let me see. We talked about what's going down in our town. It's time for another commercial break. Well, no, we did our first one already, and we came back already. And but it is time for our sports quickie.
Is anyone up for a quickie? A sports quickie.
All right. So what you got going on for your sports quickie today?
Well, kind of like what we were talking about games are being postponed, but right now, just beyond football, which is kind of weird for me, but beyond football, the NHL has announced that they are going to be postponing games until after Christmas. And they just announced that they're not going to be playing or sending any of their players to the Beijing Olympics anymore.
Yep, they've pulled them out.
So they are taking away that break that they already had planned, and they're going to make up the games that have been postponed due to COVID during that time. A lot of people are kind of talking about if the NBA should do that, and more importantly, since the big kind of opener for the NBA is always on Christmas Day, and it's like the biggest games, and you tune in to watch the biggest players. But at this point, we really don't know who is going to be playing. They're bringing back older players, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be as big of an, our season started, the NBA started on Christmas like it normally is. And I don't know, I guess more of like, this discussion with you of like what you think. What do you think? Do you think that they should postpone it and move the NBA to and wait until like more of their big stars can play? Or do you think that they should, or kind of like the NHL did, is like postpone a little bit until people can be back, or do you think that they should continue on Christmas with their
Well,
normal schedule?
personally, I feel COVID is going to make that decision for them. I really think that. I really feel like COVID is going to make that decision. As much as they want to keep playing, and right now they are keeping playing, I really feel like COVID is going to be the one to make the decision on whether or not the season continues going on, or they have to shut it down, or whatever they need to do. And I know a lot of this is stemming from a lot of players did not get the vaccination. I know in the beginning of the season, everybody made a big deal about Kyrie because he was very vocal about not getting it. But now it's coming out that a lot of players around the NBA and the NFL did not get the vaccination. And now COVID is running rampant in these locker rooms with not just the players, but the coaches and the trainers. And I mean, it's running rampant with a lot of people. So I really believe that COVID is going to make the decision on whether or not they're going to keep playing or they're going to have to shut it down.
Yeah. I agree with you. And kind of like the other side would be, but for how long? Because there's no end in sight. There's no end point. So it's like if they postpone it for a week or 2 weeks, will that make a significant difference, or will it just be swapping out different players who have it? Because I mean, unless all these players just stayed in their houses and didn't go anywhere and then came back, and then that's still you're not.
That's
you
the
don't know for
bubble.
sure.
They may have to go back and create the bubble.
They do for all
Hey,
sports. We're just do like
for
a
all
big giant bubble for
one big
all
bubble
sports. Just
down
one.
in
You can have
Disneyland.
like football fields, basketball courts, tennis, like hockey rink, like just huge bubble.
One
So
big
that's
bubble.
kind of like the two sides, is like if they should play on Christmas and have that be their, pretty much opener. Here's the
Like always.
NBA, but then there's also too much money at stake. So if they canceled the games, I mean, I know me and my family always watch the games on Christmas morning. We open presents and watch, and
Watch
basketball's on all
football.
day.
Basketball.
And then football's also on. So so if the NBA wanted to postpone, we would still have football. So they could, but I think there's just too much money, and I don't think they're going to be willing to give that up. It's also kind of crazy how they're bringing back older players. Everyone's like should be by their phone and ready for a call at any moment to come in and jump back in and play. It's kind of be like the old school teams. You're gonna turn it on, you'd be like, what year is this? Is it like 2017 or what are we watching out here? So
you're right.
I mean, it's crazy, and it's kind of getting crazier almost. Like we've been talking about COVID and how it's impacted sports for 2 years now, and I feel like it hasn't gotten any better. I think I think the one thing that did, like we were talking about, the one thing that did help was the bubble. But beyond that, it's these players have to go and be in.
And it's crazy because, they were doing pretty good at the beginning of the season. So I don't know what happened. The beginning of the season, they were doing pretty good. Now here we are at the end of the season where people have got more lax and loose and hanging out and going places and doing things. And now all of a sudden we've got lots and lots of cases of COVID.
There's also like a new variant that's circulating that's like 95% of the cases is this new variant, and that variant spreads quicker. So it's like way faster than the one we had back in 2020, and this one's just kind of running rampant. The one good thing that I've heard is that people don't get as sick, but that doesn't mean that they still aren't infected and can't give it to somebody and get to somebody that is sick and not, in shape like a football player. But yeah, I think that's kind of what's been going on. That's on my end. I mean, there's sports, but it's like everything is affected by.
Yep.
And
Like I said, they pulled out of the Olympics.
that's so, I mean, that's sad for like the veterans, because
Yeah.
the ones that are saying like this is going to be my last Olympics,
Right.
and then
Right.
also the United States is not going to do very well now in hockey, because we're keeping all of our players here. So, well, it's kind
We'll
of like
see
a
what
balancing
happens.
act. Each
Like I said, I really believe COVID is going to make the determination.
yeah. And
I
each
really
league
do
is
believe that.
making their own rules about it. And but it's just hard. I mean, all these sports, you're so close. You're with these players. You're very, very close with all these
Real
players
up
at
close
all
and
times.
personal. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Up close and
So
personal. All right. Well, we're going to take another quick commercial before I go to my sports quickie. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, now big news. I heard that seafood company is going to be coming to Atlanta. So Bernard Scott, we're going to be looking for you because that food looks good. I'm just going to need to have to sample a little bit of everything, make sure that it's okay. I'm going to be right there ready to sample for the grand opening. Just want to make a couple of samples.
just like to make sure. So, and then so everybody
make sure that it tastes as good as it looks, because it looks good.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just a little bit of everything, maybe a little bit more of everything. You need to try a couple times to make sure.
Yeah. All right, so let's get ready for my sports quickie. So the NFL put out a press release. The NFL and the NFLPA have been engaged with their medical advisors to address the emergence of the new Omicron variant and how to stop the spread to ensure they keep everyone safe and complete the remainder of the season responsibly. The intensive protocol implemented last week and the rescheduling of 3 games were designed to stop the transmission of the virus and play this week's games safely. After after this weekend's games, we have agreed to put into place a new set of protocols, which will include a more targeted testing plan, more flexibility for players to attend meetings virtually, and also a high risk player opt out for the remainder of the season. So the NFL is trying to do whatever they think they can do, like they said, to get through the end of this season. But as you can see, and that's why I say COVID is going to make the choice, because they've already had to shut down games and not play games and move the schedule around because of COVID. And I just don't think that's going to get better soon enough.
And no, I don't think so either. And one of the kind of, I don't know, it's not unfair, but the disadvantages are like who is sick on what day. So if like they have to postpone because one team is has COVID outbreak, when they reschedule the game, there could be a couple of key players from the other team that are out at that point. So it's kind of it's this like Russian roulette kind of type of like situation, who's going to be in, who's going to be out. And this is on top of injuries with the NFL. So we're always talking about injuries with the NFL. Like
there's always
by this time, it's supposed to be by this time of year. Every year.
There's always going to be injuries, always going to be injuries.
Yeah.
But like I said,
So
I really strongly believe that COVID is going to make the deciding factor on how this season is going to end.
Yeah.
It's just, it's amazing because, like I said, I'm just like shocked, because in the beginning of the year, they were good. And now here it is, the end of the year, and there's so many cases, so much COVID going on. I mean, a lot of it too. So that they're trying to change it. They're trying to change the rules so that players who are vaccinated don't have to go through the same protocol that players who are not vaccinated, non-vaccinated players. So they're looking at every avenue they can to get through
Mhm.
this season.
Yeah. I was
So
talking about like on top of injuries. So we already have players out from injuries, and now we have more players out from COVID. So now it's
right.
like a two big things that are impacting the season.
We have
Yeah.
more players out from COVID than we do injuries.
Oh, for
Last
sure.
week
Yeah, for sure.
alone, they had over 200. I mean,
Mhm.
NFL,
Yeah.
last week alone, they had over 200 players on the COVID
Yeah.
list. 200 players across the entire league. So um,
Yeah.
there wasn't 200 injuries, thank God. So
Yeah,
right
of course.
now,
Yeah, and it's just two different things, but I'm just saying that adds another layer. So there's
yeah,
like
yeah,
two bad things that are happening now, and it's not like it's the same, but I'm just saying usually
yeah,
we talk about injuries at this time of the year, and
right,
that's the issue. And this year it's COVID. And
yes.
yeah, they're just trying to probably get through the season. And another thing is it's coming to LA.
hmm
And like here we went back to masks everywhere in California.
Masked up. They
Um
did it in Atlanta this week. The mayor. Now I'm waiting for the governor to chime in. The governor likes to mess with the mayor. The mayor just put the mask mandate back into place. The last time she did something, the governor chimed in and said, "Oh, you can't do that. You're just the mayor. I can do." I'm like, "Oh gosh, she's trying to save lives." So
mhm.
she just put the mask mandate back into place, and restaurants are deciding whether or not they're going to continue having dining or not. So
Yeah.
it's
I always find that strange when they put safety protocols in place and people are like like get really angry about it, and they're like it just
it's to save your life.
I'm like, this is like, of course you want like as to the people who are leading your city or your state or your
Yeah,
country to care
yeah.
about you and to like do everything to make sure that you don't get sick, because
hmm
the how many people we've lost from COVID is just
Yeah.
um
It's mind-boggling,
it's
and it
mind-boggling.
really
Yeah.
is mind-boggling.
Hmm.
And it's like 'cause I've lost family members, um, but I also have family members who refuse to get the vaccination, and I have family members where everybody's vaccinated. The whole household is vaccinated. In my household, we're all vaccinated. As a matter of fact, I just
Yeah.
got my booster yesterday.
Yeah, I got
Um,
one.
just trying to stay alive, and that's
Yeah.
the way I look at it. You just got to take care of yourself, got to stay alive. So, well, we'll
Whatever.
see
Yeah.
what happens. We'll see what
Whatever
happens.
it takes.
Okay, my
Um
other sports quickie is Tiger Woods. Is Tiger Woods the bionic man? Earlier this year, Tiger was in a horrific car accident, and it was said that his legs were crushed and he may not even walk again. But last weekend, Tiger and his son Charlie Woods, came in second after a very rocky start in the PNC Championship. Everyone was surprised to even see how good Tiger looked after his accident. So I'm like, okay, hold on. Now they got off to a rocky start because I think Tiger was trying to let Charlie kind of lead the way. And this thing is the parents, the superstar parents and their offspring. And so Tiger and Charlie played against grown men,
mhm.
but Charlie held his own. I have to honestly say he did really, really good. He looks like a champion. His dad is really been working with him. Charlie looked really, really, really good. Now, Tiger, like I said, is he the bionic man? Because they said he might
Yeah.
not even walk, and now he was walking fine. He was out there swinging fine. He looked really good. Um, Even though it was a little tournament, the PNC tournament, not a big deal. But now they're saying he's getting ready to enter one of the bigger tournaments. So I'm like, okay, is Tiger the Bionic Man? I mean, what's going on? Because everyone was surprised to even see him and to see him look so good.
It's kind of crazy to me that these athletes, what they can go through and then where they can be relatively and very quickly. Like certain then you hear about their injuries and exactly what they are. You watch documentaries or anything about their like injury and what they went through. Like you just see like when they got hurt, and then you just see them when they come back. You don't see like the
Yep.
day-to-day rehab and how much pain and how much they had to push themselves to like get there. But people with that mindset, like Tiger Woods, is champion. He didn't get to be Tiger Woods, the best and one of the best golfers ever
in the world, right?
Yeah, to not, have that drive. And I think that's how they get back so quickly, because they just have this unworldly drive that like pushes them to get there.
I agree. I totally agree. Totally agree. But like I say, we'll see what happens. I really believe, like I said, um, like with Tiger, they said he might even walk. They said his legs were crushed, and he didn't even walk with a limp. Didn't look like anything was wrong with his legs at all. So now I'm like, is he the bionic man? Or was that just fake news? He wasn't as hurt as they said he was. I
Yeah,
mean, I
right.
don't know. Because he didn't look like anything had ever happened to his legs. But we saw the car. We know that there was damage. We know he got hurt. But he sure did recover really nicely.
Yeah. That is that's crazy, because most people would still be in a bed,
Yeah. Let
going through
alone in a bed, but out here competing and getting
that.
ready to compete in some of the major golf tournaments next year. He's back to getting ready to compete.
And doing well, like really well, finishing second. It's
Well,
crazy.
but we're going to show one more commercial. This one I want to show. This is Brandon Cox. He's out of Chicago. Brandon goes around all year long collecting shoes from people, and then he will go out and find homeless people or needy children or whatever, and make sure everyone has some shoes on their feet. Let's take a look at Brandon. We want to definitely send our thanks out to Brandon Cox, Be Smooth out in Chi Town. I mean, as we were talking earlier about people giving back, this man gives back all year round. His organization, and in the winter especially, you will see his whole trunk is full of shoes that people donate, and he'll ride around in his car, making sure that none of the homeless people or not so well off people are out there with shoes and their feet are hanging out or their soles are missing and they're walking on the heel of their soul. So big ups to Brandon. Brandon, I'm coming back to Chicago to check you out. Hey, we've got a guest watching, Miss Carolyn Weaver. Hello, Carolyn. Carolyn says it's like going to school. Players need to take COVID more serious. Right now, they have to have a job to do and they can play around later. Once school is out, they need to mask up. I agree with Carolyn. I definitely agree. They need to and that's what's happening when they go home, when they go out and like when they leave the game and they go out with their guys and out with their girls and they're hanging out. A lot of them are not masking up like they should, and they're contracting it. And then the sad part about some part of it, if you've got school age children, those children are contracting it from other children and then bringing it home to the parents.
Yeah.
And now the parents have it. So
Mhm.
like I said, thank you for that comment, Miss Carolyn.
It's true, and you're not affecting just like yourself, but you're
Exactly.
affecting a team, and how quickly it spreads. Like you said, hundreds and like
Exactly.
out, and you're just
Exactly.
it's your job, and
Like that's what Carolyn
hopefully,
said. This is your job. When you go out on your own, I mean, you just kind of go out on your own, but this is your job. And even when you go out on your own, like, I know in the NFL especially, like when they sign contracts to play, do you know they can't ride motorcycles and dirt bikes? They can't
Yeah.
do anything that might damage their bodies because they've
Yeah.
signed a contract to play professional sports. So they can't have motorcycles and dirt bikes and go out off road and flipping over cars. They can't do all of that.
We couldn't even when we played when I played volleyball in college, we signed a contract and we weren't allowed to play other sports. We weren't allowed to go skiing. We weren't all this stuff. My family used to go on
Yeah.
ski trips, couldn't do that. And yeah, you sign something because you don't want to get your players hurt that you invest this much into.
That's right. Like Carolyn says, it's a part of their job. It's their responsibility to be more responsible. Even once they leave the arenas to go home or go hang out or go visit people, whatever, they have to be more responsible. Thank you, Carolyn,
Yeah.
for that. Well, Lindsay, time has come and gone so
I can't believe
quickly.
it.
I know, right?
I know, it's always so quick.
It's always so quick. But thank you guys for chiming in to Ladies in the Locker Room. And thank our guests for your comments. Oh, Russell K. Hey, what's up, Russell? Russell, what's up, ladies? Russell K is in the house. Russell K also. Russell K is trying to go with us to the Super Bowl. Russell has a radio station, and we simultask sometimes. So,
That's
trying to get the ladies in the locker room out there more and get Russell's radio station out there. So thanks for chiming in, Russell. And I have somebody else. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm not even going to butcher it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for chiming
Thank
into Ladies in the Locker Room. We'll see you next Wednesday night. Until
Sounds
then,
good. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Yes. All right. Where are we going? Here we go.